right, what is wrong with your party?
Oh, that's just such an easy question, right? Well, since we're talking about Mamdani, he is a fresh face. He is barnstormed social media. He's talking about costs and he's talking about family issues. And I think that's why he's gotten the traction that he's had. He's also making the circuit, going to all the right places. He's hitting financiers, he's hitting bankers, he's hitting the tech industry, and he's come to Congress to talk to leadership, to talk to committee chairs, committee members, etc., on very important issues. And you have the president who is attacking him on a daily basis. You don't see Abigail Spanberger, you don't see Mikey Sherrill getting this attention from the president, and I think that's part of what's going on here, is that President Trump's actually elevating his status by talking about him so much.
Well, let's look at the last place that he went, very interestingly. He seems to have made a stop at a rap concert.
I mean, I think a big part of it is to make Brownsville a place that you don't have to leave to have that same life. You know, there are too many people for whom stability, space, raising a family, you can only do it outside of New York City. The whole campaign that we ran on is about how do we make the most expensive city in the United States of America affordable.
Okay, I like that.
So this video is a brilliant campaign video. It shows him arriving at the concert and greeting these concert goers. It really reinforces this feeling I think you get from the Democrats today. There's this kind of worship of cool and youth, but the views that are actually winning views among like the electorate, including the Democratic electorate, are considered lame and cringe and old-fashioned. Like, to me, Mamdani's a lifestyle brand more than he is a set of actual
I mean,
proposals.
I don't first of all, I'm 49 and I did listen to a lot of Wu-Tang Clan. So I mean, I'm neither young nor cool. Trust me, no one would ever mistake that of me. But I do think like our politicians, I think you're definitely onto something with the lifestyle brand thing, because I do think our politicians generally, particularly in the last like 20 years, are more lifestyle brands than like Barack Obama. What policy did Barack Obama run on that people were like, yes, that? Hope and change. It's a great slogan because it works, because like, who's against hope or change? But even Trump, I remember people would say all the time in 2016 when it got down to Trump versus Ted Cruz in the primary. Somebody called me and they're like, who's more conservative on the issues, Trump or Ted Cruz? I was like, I mean, like, whatever you think of Ted Cruz, on the traditional issues in 2016, Ted Cruz is way more conservative. Obviously. But vibes-wise, Trump was tough talking, said stuff people, even if they didn't agree, said stuff that they were like, oh my, I can't believe someone's saying it. So I think there is like a kind of vibes piece to this more now than ever before. Mamdani absolutely plays in this. But to your point, Batya, I do think you need more. If I'm the Democratic Party and I want to become a national party in 2028, I would say as much Bashir as possible and broadly as little Mamdani as possible. Though take the social media stuff, take pieces from it. It's just that like you said, what he believes is not going to win them a national election.
Okay, so it's very easy to divide the party and say, you know, you've got Mamdani here, you've got the Bashirs here, you know, you've got the kind of socialist, you know, cutting edge, progressive, far left here, and then you have the more moderate centrists here. But there's one issue that I think really complicates that. And let's take a look at this poll about whether trans athletes should be allowed to participate in women's sports. So the polling suggests that this is an 80-20 issue. So 80% of Americans support a ban on trans athletes in women's sport. 80% of Americans. Only 18% would oppose such a ban, and yet the entire Democratic Party routinely votes against these kinds of bills, is very much as a party on the other side of this, so much so that when Rahm Emanuel when Megyn Kelly pushed him on this, he said the right thing, but you could tell he was a little afraid. Let's watch that, and then I'll have you respond.
Can a man become a woman?
Can a man become a woman? No.
Thank you.
No.
That's so easy. Why don't more people in your party just say that?
Because I'm now going to go into a witness protection plan.
So why is it so hard for the Democratic Party to embrace a position that reflects 80% of Americans?
Well, I think that we saw during the Kamala Harris race that that issue really tripped her up, and it caused voters that were maybe on the moderate side or they were undecided to absolutely swing towards Donald Trump. I have family members that they brought up to me after the election that was one of their issues.
Oh, wow.
Yes. My aunt, for example, has daughters, my cousins, that played in sports, and she brought that up to me and said, this is an issue that I absolutely don't agree with. Do I know for a fact that that's what might have swung her to vote for Donald Trump? Absolutely not. But I hear that overwhelmingly from people, that the Republican Party made that a cornerstone of their campaign, and the Democrats didn't take it head on. They kind of skirted away, as you were saying, afraid of the issue. You can't run on an issue and not support it and not go full force for it and be afraid and not be willing to defend it when necessary. And I think that's where they got caught up.
So is it your advice to Democrats in the coming cycles to lean into the 80% on this issue?
I think they absolutely need to have a better conversation about it and explain to the American people what their position is, whether or not there's some wiggle room there. But the Rahm Emanuel interview was, I think, she was asking different questions and having to do with transgender athletes playing sports.
Right. It was a more
That's a completely different conversation to have. But yeah, and it's a very small percentage. Also, I want to state for the fact that of transgender athletes that are playing sports, by the way, I think it's, what, 3%, something very low. But the Republican Party was very smart in making that a cornerstone issue because it absolutely brought people over into their camp.
Final thought, very briefly.
I think you can have two thoughts true if you're the Democratic Party. Number one, trans girls should not play in girl sports, period. There's no point in fighting that. And two, yes, broadly, as the Democratic Party, we want people to feel welcome. We want, like, that's fine. But if you conflate those two things, I think well, you saw what happened when it happened in 2024. I mean, the last ad Donald Trump ran in every single swing state was Kamala Harris is for they, them.
Yep.
Donald Trump is for us. Yes, or you. Right. And
there.
so, like, that's what they ran those ads. Want to know why? Because they worked.
Because it worked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you both so much.
Thanks,
it was great.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.